Every night when I was a kid, my dad would tuck me in bed and he would tell me a story. It'll be the same damn story every damn night, called Bosco and Billy. I always enjoyed it when he would tell me the story, but it was so silly. But after the recent events, I now know it's a lot more sinister than it first appears. Billy the bear was just an ordinary bear with an ordinary life, but he had one small friend named Bosco who would always get him into strife. But most of the times Bosco would behave, but sometimes he would act out. Billy would try to keep his ass in line, but he would sometimes break out. Like one time Bosco was hungry, decided that he wanted to go steal food. Billy tried to stop him and tried to explain that stealing is rude, but he didn't listen and stole it anyway and took it to his secret spot. That spot was an oak tree into the woods so his ass wouldn't get caught. Bosco wishes that it is never found, he hopes and he prays. Billy is nice and Bosco is silly, and that is the story of Bosco and Billy. Now the story seems innocent enough, but my dad passed away a few years ago. It really took a toll on all of us, especially my mother, but she wouldn't show. She became a little bit reclusive after he died, so I did not see her as much. Spent a long time trying to create a relationship with her, but I wasn't trying to rush. Had to give her some space, but slowly I did get to reconnect with her, but only one time a week. One day I went over to her house to see her, and because I wanted to speak, we would talk about basic things like my childhood, school, and all of those things. But the one subject that never came up, however, was my fucking father. I think the pain was still way too raw for my mother to talk about him, but one of my weekly visits I thought it'd be good if I mentioned him. So I decided to bring up the story that he would tell me every night. Remember the story of Bosco and Billy that dad would tell me? I thought it was nice. She said no, but is looking confused. She asked me did I just say the name Bosco. Told her yes I did, his name was Bosco in the story, and then there was Billy also. She said my dad had a friend named Bosco that always got him in trouble, and said she never met him and my dad thought it was a good thing or she'd be in trouble. Even said that he only met up with Bosco only once or twice after they met. Then he said he was no longer gonna see Bosco and said he would get rid of him. She said she was always curious on who he was. She never seen pictures of him or any evidence of his existence, now that I think about it. So it is very strange that he would tell you a story about a guy named Bosco. She asked me to tell her the whole story to her, so I did on a creepy night in Chicago. She took it all in and asked me if I was sure. He told me it was an oak tree. Yes, it was definitely an oak tree where Bosco hid his food, that is what he told me. She said that my father took her to an old oak tree on their first date. She said that he said that they were so lucky that Bosco didn't ruin their first date. And then she stopped talking and stared at the wall behind me and told me that I had to leave. Before I gave her a hug, she said it's 10 minutes away. Down the road is the tree. Got in my car to head home, but the thought of Bosco and the tree began to fill my head. I couldn't escape my thoughts, so I turned my car around, and then I began to head that way to the tree. 15 minutes later, I was standing at the edge of the woods. Took a step in the woods, didn't know exactly where the tree was, but I was determined to find it. Explored the woods 10 minutes before I could find it. There it was, the oak tree. I walked over to the base of the tree, and then a sense of fear started to overcome me. Something didn't feel right, something terrible must have happened one night. I looked at the base of the tree and the dirt looked slightly different than any other dirt in the woods. I don't know why I did this, but I bent down and started digging. The police said if I never started digging, then they probably would never found him. There were 4 dead bodies in total, all of them young women around the age of 24. They said they'd been dead for about 30 years. I've never seen anything like it before. It was undeniable, they were all murdered and buried right under this tree. I cannot imagine how my mother feels, but she is alive, so that's a good thing. The DNA testing was also clear, my father was responsible for the murder. Somehow he managed to keep this hidden for many years, glad he didn't hurt. He never told anyone, the only clues were through the story that he always told me. I guess that was his way of confessing, but my question is, who the fuck is Bosco?